Can I bugger things up and grab one of those so we can talk about it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, Eric. I'm going to talk about this. So anyway, what we're looking at is one of the pieces that's coming out of this minster here, the 160-ton thing. So we're looking at I don't know, some sort of a connector or contactor, and this is like amazingly thin, and this is not the kind of stamping I did when I was a tool maker. Can you describe a little bit about what's going on here with this? Because if you look at, I don't even know how you nest this.
So this particular part, this is a very interesting one. Actually, there's a lot going on between these two terminals. You got I believe this is a 16,000 gauge material, but the challenge here, and that's one of the reasons why we won this job, is because the actual connector had to be double the size. So we have a holdover feature on this that makes it 32,000 at the connector point, but the terminal is actually 16,000, and all those holes are precision pilot holes that the end user, which in this case is the insert molder, uses to place these parts into their mold, and using those pilots into those holes to properly put it into the right location. Then it shoots the plastic and the resin through it in order to get the final product.
So the little holes are actually the things that draw my attention to this thing. Okay, I know how to bend that and this and whatnot, but hitting all these holes, usually you do that first, and then I do the bending of this contoured shape. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how I could possibly, because each one of these things looks dead nuts in the right place.
That's because it is.
Yeah.
Every station, there's some type of piling to put all that into location to make sure that once the operation, the press comes down and you make impact onto the part, that prior to impact, everything's in location by the pilot, engaging it into those holes. The stripper comes down to clamp it, and then all the other tooling follows behind it and does exactly what it needs to do, and to ensure that everything is in the right location so we can hold those dimensions, especially the cut dimensions on that, because if you're familiar with the molding process, the last thing you want to do is have any flash. So when you clamp down on the mold and there's some metal sticking out, that's got to be plus or minus 1,000. And if you have anything outside of that, you'll have flash in the mold, and you're going to have some issues at the molding process, which will never work for the customer.
So that's the other thing I was going to ask next is I don't feel any flashing at all, and that also means these dies are dead nut sharp as well. So
Absolutely.